The fourth pillar here is competency, which is, again, are you good at what you do, Lou Holtz? It's the most obvious of the lot of them. But what's your take on competency?
Well, here's what your group gets that many don't. But that is, we trust those that stay fresh and relevant and capable. If you're selling the way you were 10 years ago, I don't trust you. If you're leading the way you were just 5 years ago, I don't trust you. If you got a teacher at your school that's teaching the way they were 30 years ago, I don't trust you. You got to stay fresh, relevant, and capable. That's why it's so great to be a part of a coaching community like yours, because we're getting better all the time. Because if we're not getting better, we're losing, right? It's like, I might trust you to, take my kids to the ball game because you've got the character pillar. I may not trust you to give me a root canal because of competency on that, right?
Yeah.
So your people, this is why coaching matters. This is why learning matters. This is why reading matters. This is why staying fresh, relevant, capable. That's the competency is being competent in our tech, in our technical space, whatever we do, but it's also being competent in people skills. And in the new ways of things. So there's a load we could talk about, but this is the bottom line. Input equals output. If you're not putting better things in.
We've learned so far the clarity, people distrust the ambiguous. We've learned from compassion, you better think from the other person's perspective. Character was those decision-making values, and competency, stay fresh and relevant. On commitment. So commitment is great. Love the word. What does that mean to you?
Well, commitment, what we basically learned in the research is people trust those that stay committed in the face of adversity. If I think you're going to jump in a second, I'm not going to trust you. If we go through a pandemic, we got this tough thing, and you're not going to stay with me, I'm not going to trust you. You take anybody in your life or history, mom, dad, first grade teacher, Mandela, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Jesus, or Joan of Arc, and you got somebody that was trusted by their people because they were committed to something beyond themselves, maybe to death. And if I think my coach is going to be with me through this, if I think this person's going to be with, I trust them. If I think people that jump, they say things and they don't mean them, and they don't weigh their commitments. I guess one quick important point under this, because there's a lot under this pillar, our accountability framework comes under this pillar for healthy accountability and a host of other things. But one idea here is, how do you rebuild trust? Well, we have a 10-step process. I mean, everybody out there's made a mistake, at least I assume. And so how do you rebuild it? Well, we have a 10-step process if you're a big company with an oil spill, but whether you're a big company or you're an individual, it comes down to one thing, and it's not what people often expect. You don't ever, 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 ever rebuild trust on the apology. I'm not saying don't apologize. That shows humility, which is critical. I'm not saying don't apologize. That opens people up, but that never rebuilds trust. I'm sorry I'm late. No, you're not. You're late every single time, right? So we can't just say I'm sorry and think we rebuilt trust. There's one way to rebuild trust, and that is we have to make and keep a new commitment. That's the only way you'll ever rebuild it. It's just one idea under that commitment pillar.
In the spiritual realm, is the difference between repentance and remorse, right?
Yeah.
Remorse, I'm sorry I got caught. Repentance, I'm not doing it anymore.
Right.
And obviously, we, in our coaching program, we're coming into this. The market's changed radically. The rates are up. We have a recession looming and whatever else. And our phrase that we introduced to our client base this year is, we got you. We got you. We've built the structures. You've known us for years. We're here, and we got you. And it's just people need to know that they have your somebody has their back.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you want more tips on how to think, feel, and do better, check out these videos too. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave us a like if you enjoyed the content.